Alright guys, now it's time for tutorial number 2. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to unlock the iPhone, make sure that YouTube stays activated, you have no Wi-Fi issues, and also we're going to install installer.app, also known as AppTab, so you can install programs in the future easily directly from your phone. No need for your hooking up to the PC or anything. You can do it all via Wi-Fi. Okay, now we're going to start off with a brand new iPhone again. Of course, it's in the box, everything's fine. I'm just going to take it out now. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put the iPhone on the side. And before we begin with anything, I'm going to show you a file list, and these are a list of files that you need. But I'm also going to include a pack, and this is going to be called Unlock Pack version 2. And it's going to include all of the files that you need. I suggest that you extract everything to the desktop and make sure that you're ready. Once you've extracted everything to the desktop, meaning once you've opened the RAR file and that you've copied everything, copied the folder to your desktop, then you should continue. If you haven't, then please don't continue. Also, please watch this warning. This time, we're going to do almost exactly the same thing we've done last time. However, there are going to be a few differences. First of all, we're going to be using iTunes version 7.4.12. Now, it's newer than 7.3 and it supports ringtones, so it's better for you to use the later version of iTunes. We're going to make sure that you have the latest version of the iPhone firmware on your phone, and that version being 1.0.2. Hope by the time that this tutorial is out, you're already going to see that there's version 1.1.1. Do not update to that firmware yet. Once I've released another tutorial, or that you've seen online that it is safe to update to that firmware, then by all means do. But until then, do not update, because if you do that, you'll either relock your phone, or you won't be able to downgrade for a while, because that's it, you're stuck. Also, if you've unlocked your phone before, don't upgrade to 1.1.1, because there are a lot of people who've said that once after they've unlocked it and then they've upgraded, what's happened is that even their old AT&T SIMs don't work. So do not upgrade. Now, since I've mentioned that 1.1.1 is out, we can't automatically just plug in the iPhone into iTunes, and then just basically let it upgrade. It's going to want to upgrade to 1.1.1. So what you're going to have to do is ignore the message. I'll also, at the very bottom of this, right over here, you're going to see that there's going to be a link. This link is for downloading version 1.0.2. Make sure you download it, and make sure it's on your desktop. I've already mentioned it in the previous list that you just seen probably a couple of seconds ago, but I just have to stress, download it and keep it onto your desktop. Now the first task that we're going to do is the most easiest thing that we have to do, okay? You're going to press Control-Alt-Delete on your PC. I know this is a Mac, but it's running Windows. You're going to press Control-Alt-Delete on your PC, and what you're going to do is you're going to get the Windows Task Manager. What you have to do is find the iTunes helper and end the process by clicking on End Process. I've already ended it, so obviously it's not on the menu, it's not showing on the Task Manager right now. Once you've done that, and you've made sure that iTunes is closed and that you have the correct version, then we're going to plug in the iPhone. So this time I'm going to try to be as thorough as possible, because even though I thought that I was explaining everything easily before, apparently there were some people who seemed to have some trouble. So I'm going to plug in the cable to the iPhone. As you can see, it's starting for the very first time. Now it's asking me to activate the phone. Obviously we don't need to worry about anything yet. Okay, now, basically, before we launch iTunes, we're going to have to make sure that the phone is in restore mode. To do that, all we need to do is press the sleep button and the home button simultaneously. Hold it for as long as it takes until you see the yellow triangle. So, I'm going to demonstrate it right now. And there you go, the yellow triangle. It's going to be your best friend for now. Now, remember what I said? I said that you needed to download firmware version 1.0.2. Hopefully you've saved it somewhere that you can find and access easily. I've saved it to the desktop. Obviously, it's the most easiest place that you can find it. I'm going to launch iTunes now. So I've just launched it. It's telling me that it's detected the iPhone in recovery mode. So I'm just going to press OK. Now what I have to do is I'm not going to click on restore. We're going to press Shift on the keyboard. I'm pressing Shift. And then I'm going to click on restore. So holding Shift, click on restore. Now you get a pop-up window. It's going to ask you to select the firmware you want to select. I'm going to choose, in this case, whoops, is it going to focus? I'm going to choose the firmware. All I did was I double clicked. It's extracting. And it's preparing. Now if you look at the iPhone, it's doing its thing right now. It's going to restart a couple of times. It's going to prepare. It's going to take a couple of minutes just to update to firmware 1.0.2. Give it time. Don't touch the PC. Don't do anything until it's finished. Alright, by now it's completely upgraded, restored the phone to 1.0.2. Now we should be happy. What we're going to do is we're going to go and close iTunes. Now we're going to open the pack that we had open. And we're going to, like I've told you, to extract all the folders to desktop. We're going to launch AppTap Installer. Make sure that there's nothing else connected. So we're going to double click on it. It's going to give you the little welcome screen. And all we do is to click on continue. Then click on firmware 1.0.2. Select it. Click on install. Now for me it's going quite fast because I've done this before. When you run this for the very first time, it's going to download some files. Don't worry, it takes a while. When it finally does its thing, you're going to see that the phone is going to go through a couple of stages. If you notice, you've got the boot screen. The phone's going to restart a couple of times. Don't worry, everything's fine. Try to get both in one shot. And there you go, it's done. Simple as that. Nothing left over. It's finished. You'll notice that the bar doesn't reach the very end. Don't worry, that's normal. It's nothing to do with your phone. It's just basically the installer doesn't show. I mean, that is complete. And we're done. For now. Alright now, so we've just finished with AppTap, the installer. And now what we're going to do is going to go back to the folder we extracted with the files in it. And we're going to launch Pack-A. Now I'll just show you how it looks. That over here. Point and click activation with YouTube. That's Pack-A. So you're going to click on that, and then all we do is we click on here. It says click here, activate that. Double click on it. And say, are you sure you're ready? Press any key. So I'm just going to press any key. And basically it's going to do everything for me. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to touch anything. The installer is going to do everything for me.